People need to shut the fuck up because it's not even about them to judge about the situations, and that becoming my problem. Everybody's talking about this and that, ended up having reacts without containing the fact from a story that's one-sided, that's coming from one person. Now everybody thinks this is a fact like it was a non-fiction. I hate people that's gossiping for no reason, thinking they know everything by having a piece of information. Like the time that me and moms ended up arguing over a chore that we had differences of finishing. Something that my brother was too lazy of doing. Telling my cousin about what happened. Siding with her by ass kissing. Y'all might been parents working at money, sex to death. Money, sex to death. Now don't get me wrong, sex is natural. It feels impeccable, but there's a dark side to the point where eventually it's your downfall. Like smashing without a condom with a dirty bitch creating a deadly disease. Now you're the one that's contracted with that HIV, lack of awareness. I only care about exercising as long as for sexual purposes, displaying the horniness that lasts longer than the average traffic until you let your rocks off by busting a nut or squirting your ass off that's gonna be able to dictate us. Believe it or not, for an example, having a slave mindset within the system, letting society label you, now you're gonna end up being a victim. Unable to let you be you, your own character. The land of the free bullshit, I call it the land of despair. Not just in America, but all over. But if we keep on going on like this, we're gonna end up being collapsed just like the Twin Towers. The price is right, and at the end it's going to hurt. Cause you know why? Because there's no fair up in this universe. Life is like a hassle. Too many bumps on the road. It's hard for people to deal with the oncoming struggle. Hard times lead to the hard decisions. Where it costs to develop the hurt. Cause there's no fair in this universe. Life is like a hassle. Too many bumps on the road. It's hard. Like I caught Jehovah slipping, so I viciously stabbed him to death. Then I looked over and saw a witness. The community in my area as a whole was scared, shocked, and stunned. On a Sunday, I kidnapped the priest, with tying him up, forcing him to watch his wife to be beaten and raped, who turns out to be a nun. When I die, my soul manifests into another body, as I'm one of the demons from hell who enjoys his eternal everyday evil hobbies.
Everything is coming together. You're doing a great job, my boy. I haven't seen this much pain and suffering throughout my entire life.
Including not going across the border. Sold us so, but you can't come back to life. But there's a chance that you might have another after yours is spot. I never underestimate the stout in a violent state. For your own sake, test it or suffer the consequences in many ways of pain. To be receiving the shop of death within the game, like an idea of putting your body in a horizontal position onto the track for your course to be mutilated by an oncoming train. I'm going insane in the membrane like I was Cypress Hill. Understanding on how I can just kill a man until his heart fails. There's no way that you can be able to get out your death even if you pay me a dime, because this is the end of your time. Fate is around the corner. Death has a permanent spot for you to be having to deal with the Grim Reaper. Like Curry said, death don't do apologies after you flatline, because it's the end of your time. Fate is around the corner.
Suicide is suicide. 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 Suicide.com.
Now there's this bitch named Samantha who has everything life has to offer, from money, cars to mansions. Unable to experience or living a normal life due to exposing herself nude on social media, which is a huge mistake. Judging her negatively, what's the result of her developing self-hate? Can't escape the evilness of the critical judgment. She tried many methods of taking herself out, but successfully failed it. As Samantha struggles to choose between living a life or death at the last minute. But the negative hate takes a heavily toll, makes it harder to evaporate. The pain from the emotional hurt comes from the verbal abuse. Single beat will only get you so far until the point you're going to fall, just like you was a popular superstar. Talking about you got this and that and the third. But when it comes down to those that don't mean shit, when you end up inside of a fucking hearse, you get purged from the change of lifestyles, had to deal with a personality that contains a dangerous profile. They said don't talk to strangers. Well, guess what? That I'm a stranger to the society that it's hard for them to be able to accept me. Too scary for the media, too hard for the mainstream. Too offensive to the public for them to use protest for them to scream. As for anybody, including their grandmother, would get their life swept by any weapon, including attack, which is responsible by me if you know what's good for your health. If not, you're going to end up being labeled as the poster child from the aftermath of death. skill, I'm involved in the killing spree. Earning my profits after my signing and completion of the contract. Involving the killing, the result of my victims' wig splitting. I knew two brothers who was a coward. The last time I saw them face to face, they looked like they finished seeing the ghost of horror. Their names was Steven and Stephen, who was in the McDonald's drive-through alley. Heard I was around the corner, so they tipped themselves out. Fuck that sympathy. I'm a sociopath with nothing to lose. I kill a man over some shoes and a woman refused to give up the coup. I'm raging with anger that contributes with the violence. So don't fuck with me or you will be catching a robber not inside of an average transit. I have a short fuse when it comes to the shit I don't like. Went from being unrecognized to recognized due to the fact I began to make a lot of money, which is the reason I caught into the people's eye. It started off slow, but it was worth it. The success amounts that I had birthed it. My position felt so good that I never abandoned it. Racks on racks on racks. But in my broke days, I would never go back. The hungrier I got, the more that I became bigger, like I was fat. It started over a few dollars that I had invested in to make it more for me to be able to put it inside of a big bag. Buying a lot of crazy shit with my spending habit. I never worry because money always gonna be able to come due to my investments. I may not be the richest, but I have a lot. Enough for me to buy everything that you own right on the spot. I'm so blessed with the wealth, so don't let the shit is about to go down because I'm about to get real serious due to the fact I'm about to kill every artist that's in this music business. I'm putting the H back into hip-hop within the hour, cause a lot of these rappers start to look like something to be devoured. Starting off with Lil Yachty, how you gonna let a famous YouTuber visually dish you and let them get away with it? Shoutouts to DDG, I'm earning my rap PhD, cause obviously I'm burning rappers vertically that contains the temperature over 300 degrees. Rappers like Denzel should remove their last name to Kirby, because I'm stuck when it comes to taking out rappers lyrically, because I'm the ultimate, harder than cement. Having people gossiping like they was DJ Academics. Rico Rexless pulled a Vince Manson, checking academics knowing he's too humble to even display the action. Always gets under my skin on a daily basis, never over. Wishing one of the laws would change to committing the murder so I can take the people out that's on my hit list with a revolver, releasing the stress that's best. Wish the result of me becoming healthy. If I had $1 on everything that I kill in general, there was no doubt I would build my own financial success on becoming extremely wealthy. Having to give it no fucks like attitude with an imagery that's ill. Coming from a kid that's street, displaying a horror chord like blues. Game over, so now you lose. I'm cool, but every now and then I get G when it comes to rap. Like kidnapping your favorite rapper and lock him up and set up a gas chamber. Now I can define that as being a real trap rapper, cause I'm a real soldier and way far above from being a boy. Release the stress for what is best when it comes to becoming healthy. Creating my actions of becoming scary crazy. Making y'all feel afraid of me. Taking the trip down to the city of Murderville, where a lot of blood has spilled. The graveyard cemeteries where forever that I dwell. Burst into your crib unannounced by putting this heat in front of your face. Pulling the trigger without a second question, just out of hate. The burial of the deceased, that happens for many reasons. As the murder rate increases, may y'all rest in bits and pieces. Bodies been dropped from left and right since the beginning of the time called life. Fight to stay alive in a place that's trife. Tombstone City, lacking the buried corpse is really a pity. Congrats, you've been added into the grave site. Resting of the deceased committee.
So hang on to your hats, kiddies. This one's a real shocker.
The crypt keeper that tells the story of a deceased being from a teller who came back to life as a bone figure. Awoken from his rest while being in peace inside of a coffin of a stone chamber. But my version of a chamber, the walls inside of a haunted mansion that is above my favor. Horrified stories that involves the death and glory. So don't even bore me, because there's no happy endings when it comes down to the slaughterman approaching you in a different appearance, but mainly in a black robe, as I would kill you and take your life and possessions.